Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. This week we're behind the wheel of the 2014 Buick Regal GS. Now, the best thing about this is the Buick has really come a long way, and just from the exterior stylings, there's a vast difference from the more mature lineup we may have experienced years back. So we're going to dive in this vehicle and show you how youthful this lineup has really become. Now, the first thing I really took notice of was the exterior when the GS arrived, and I had to make a few comparisons, most notable to the BMW series, and with this nice sweeping roof line that kind of mimics that. Now, it all kind of unfolds here at the back with this nice built-in rear spoiler on the deck lid, and it kind of maybe mimics the BMW series just a little bit. Now, how can you compare a BMW, of course, to a Buick? Maybe just a little bit by the profile. Now, another nice feature we like that was comparable kind of to the Dodge Charger was this little stylized line right here. You'll see that on the Dodge Charger, very stereotypical styling that they have, and of course on that it sweeps around to the back. They don't do it on this model, of course. Now, the one area you're going to find that's truly Buick is really right around to the front, the first thing being these implied porthole grills. Now, what I like on this is on a lot of models you'll find maybe like a 3 porthole system. I like that they've gone with more of a simplified version. Now, I wouldn't argue that maybe they just get rid of these altogether, because really a smooth kind of hood up here wouldn't be that bad. Now, once you climb inside the GS, this is where you're going to find the sport from the outside really invades the interior. Most notable are these seats. Now, the best part we like about these seats is the leather material. These kind of have a perforated, kind of ridging back with a little bit of bolsters on the side, almost to a lazy boy-like feel. Now, even better, of course, is the legroom numbers on this vehicle, with a whopping 42 inches of legroom up front, with a decent number in the back at 37 inches. Now, sweeping around to the front of the Buick GS, this is really where you're going to find a lot of the dynamic designs on this vehicle. Most notable is that black waterfall grille up front and center. Now, there's a little bit of chrome accents kind of in a brushed aluminum, and you'll see those on the grille, of course, in these lower air intakes and around the windows and the door handle. Now, a nice feature we love is right here behind the Buick emblem, and that is kind of the innovation in this vehicle, really the radar sensing speed control system. A lot of times you'll find a device like that really kind of ugly down here in the bottom, like we see on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, but on this vehicle they've hidden it behind this kind of Buick emblem, adding it into the design elements so it's not an eyesore, and really allows this vehicle to be technologically advanced but still dynamic in its design. Now, another nice feature on the GS is really the innovations that they bring to the table. Most notable is really right here behind the steering wheel and the digital display they have. Now, what this does is replaces the old standard gauges with more of a digital display like we have with the digital speedometer that you see front and center. Now, of course, they still have the old standard tachometer and fuel gauges, but really that digital display allows you to kind of customize what you view there, even right down to fuel economy. Now, over in the center of the dash, of course, you've got the Intellilink System. Now, the LCD screens have really come a long way and really allow you to kind of have everything you possibly want right under one screen. Now, of course, it is touchscreen with just minimal buttons down below. And what I like about this next generation Intellilink is they've really simplified some of the kind of quirks we didn't like before. So they've come a long way. Another nice one you can look for is the MyLink system that they have on other GM models. Now, getting on the exterior, it's going to be pretty much body color all the way around with a hint of brushed aluminum on the windows, a little bit of chrome accents on the door, but otherwise the bling is somewhat subdued. Now, by the numbers, the vehicle is going to measure in about 190 inches with a 107-inch wheelbase. Now, by the height, it's just about 5 feet tall and just over 6 feet wide, so it's got a little bit of a decent platform on the road. Now, by the wheel numbers, of course, on the standard model, you're going to get a 17 or 18-inch option, with this coming standard with 19-inch wheels. Now, of course, you can upgrade to a 20-inch as well. Now, the other feature I like on these are these spoke kind of rims. Now, I've noticed these before on the BMW series, so I really like them. They add a little bit more pizzazz, and again, the chrome is downplayed on this particular model. Now, besides all the innovations you have on a particular vehicle, you really got to get to the nuts and bolts of it, which is the comfort and the ergonomics. Now, the best feature we love is the dual climate controls you have on this particular model. Now, what's even better is the digital readout for the particular temperature setting. Even better is it's a touch sensitive change where you can kind of just hit the corresponding arrow and either, make it a little bit hotter or a little bit cooler. Now, even better, of course, up here, if you really want it to be the same on both sides. You hit the sync button and it's going to change it to the driver's side. Now as you sweep down, of course, you're going to find the 6-speed automatic transmission right here, which is standard. But if you go with the standard GS model with the front wheel drive, you can change this over to a 6-speed manual transmission. Now the Regal falls into the mid-size sedan market, which means you can deliver sport behind the wheel, decent interior comfort, and of course cargo volume. Now the Buick Regal really does that quite well. And what you've got to look at on a vehicle like this is they're trying to lower the average age behind the wheel of this vehicle, and they're doing quite well, specifically starting with the exterior and then diving in on the inside, because really beauty is only about skin deep when it comes to vehicles, because you've got to deliver the exterior for the young up-and-comers. Now swinging around to the cargo area, the first thing you'll notice is these nice sweeping rear tail lights. Now one feature I really don't care too much about is this brushed aluminum accent that goes across the back. Kind of looks like a rear belt or some type of system, and it's just maybe just too much contrast back here. Smooth it out, keep body color, and it would downplay the design a little bit in the rear end. Now of course we've got this stylized spoiler back here, and you've got backup sensors and a backup camera just the same. Now as for cargo, it's made real simple because they've gone with a smart key system, basically allowing you to walk up to any door, press the button, and it pops up. Better yet, there's a remote, of course. Pop it and it really rises to the occasions. A lot of times trunks are just going to pop open. This one literally clears out of the way. Now standard operating procedure back here, a little bit of a cavern type opening, but it's going to average about 14 cubic feet, fairly decent for a midsize sedan. Now other creature comforts you're going to find on the GS, of course, is right here between the front driver and passenger. Now one little note is the center console, and it kind of has this niche cut in for the dual cup holders. Now one problem we found with that is the driver has no problem with armrests, but there's really nothing here for the passenger. Now the cup holders do have kind of a cover, allowing that maybe to transform into that armrest they're looking for. Now once you open the console here, there is a little bit of storage back here, but you're going to find your connections for USB, an SD card reader, and a power outlet right here. Now it doesn't appear that you can really get cords in there, but there's actually a little niche allowing those cords to really come out just fine. Now the Regal comes equipped with either two engines, the base one being the 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder engine. That's going to deliver 182 horsepower and 172 foot-pounds of torque. But with that E-Assist, it's actually going to deliver great fuel economy, somewhere between 25 to 36 miles per gallon. Now if you go with the model we have here, the GS, which comes standard with the 2.0 liter inline 4-cylinder turbo engine. Now that's going to deliver 259 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. Now the best part about that is, of course, coupled with the all-wheel drive, you really grip the corners and of course get off the line. Now as for fuel economy, it's not going to be too bad, averaging somewhere between 19 to 31 miles per gallon depending on how you equip it. Now swinging around to the second row, one thing you're going to notice right off the bat is the sculpted rear seating. Now what I like is it kind of mimics the front seating, allowing the back passengers to kind of have their little niche. Now this is a 2 seating in the front, 3 in the back, and the third occupant, of course, is stereotypical midsize sedan comfort with a little bit of squeeze in between. Now you'll find dual cup holders in the back area here, and another nice feature you're really going to find is the ability to change this vehicle over from a passenger hauler to cargo, and you really do that real simple with the pull of a handle right here, and these seat backs are going to fold down. Now my seat back in the front is almost all the way back, so even with that, the headrest really can stay in and fold these down just fine. Now one system I really like, and I talk about it all the time, is the smart key system. Now it does have the old traditional, but don't get confused, because really it's only going to apply to the driver's door, not even the ignition. Now what I love about these systems, and on this particular model, is the fact that you can go to any door, press the button, and it's going to unlock. Now a lot of problems you're going to find on a lot of vehicles is that button's only on the driver's door, which means if you're on that back side, you're either going to have to come all the way around or get the driver to unlock everything. But once you press this, of course, everything's going to unlock just the same. Now on that rear trunk lid, of course, when you get back there, it's electronic release, and it's going to easily open just like the rest of the vehicle. Now once you climb inside the GS, this is where you're going to find the sport from the outside really invades the interior. Most notable are these seats. Now the best part we like about these seats is the leather material. These kind of have a perforated, kind of ridging back with a little bit of bolsters on the side, almost to a lazy boy like feel. Now even better, of course, is the legroom numbers on this vehicle, with a whopping 42 inches of legroom up front, with a decent number in the back at 37 inches. That does it for this edition of Road Warrior and a test drive behind the wheel of the 2014 Buick GS. Now the GS really takes the sport up to a whole nother level on this Buick model, really delivering the exterior refinements that you may be looking for, and of course that sport behind the wheel. Now of course you can't beat the fact that this was an all-wheel drive model, really putting the grips of the corner and taking this vehicle off the line in one fell swoop. Now again, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior, and as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.